driving a tractor, whether it's self-propelled or whether they're in it. Some of them go 11 miles before they turn around.
Oh yeah, and that's all day you're out there driving at 0 miles an hour.
But they've got articulating tractors, and they're pulling 40-foot wide pieces of equipment because they can.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing technological world and huge machinery.
Yeah.
And it took us a long time to fit into that community because we were an outsider, and California license plates really bothered them. And they didn't know that they could trust us or that we were going to be fair with them and that sort of thing. So, but the people are precious. They are.
Yeah.
Well, they're rad.
When we went to this little coffee shop, you guys, for breakfast, there was a elderly lady that ran that coffee shop, and she made everything from scratch for us for breakfast.
Yeah.
And it was good.
It was really good.
Yeah, and it was just
really
her.
Good.
It was just her. Yeah.
We went to the hardware store,
and they have what we used to call it is a grader.
Yeah, motor grader.
Yeah, they call it a maintainer.
Okay.
And they got a guy in there that's got an air-conditioned cab and these articulating graders with a 12-foot blade, and they're running these roads, and the roads are two-way, single lane two-way, but two-way roads. And these guys are maintaining these roads. They get the snow off, they get the mud straightened back out, the ruts straightened out. And you'd be amazed at how you get off the paved road and get onto a graded road, and it's as smooth as silk.
Yeah.
There are no potholes.
No.
We did 70 miles an hour
on a dirt road.
On a dirt road.
All the walking you made me do?
Jared.
Good for my soul.
I'm proud of you, bud.
Dad and Jack used you as a point man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
it worked out really well. The hunt was very successful, and there's no
and west of Akron, out surrounded by mega farms.
Yes.
Yeah, by big commercial farms.
Yeah, as soon as we got on that road, there was nothing.
We passed
farms.
7 houses in 26 miles. Probably.
Yeah. But our farm happens to be an oasis.
Okay.
When we bought that farm 30 years ago, it was a wheat farm. And we converted it to restore it back to natural grass. We're completely surrounded by commercial farmers.
Right.
So all of a sudden, there's 400 acres in the middle of all this farmland. There's no place for the deer to hide, have their babies, and live, but is on this 400 acres, and it is fantastic.
Well, the nice thing too is
my farm, you couldn't put a pivot on my farm because it needs level ground.
Right.
Somewhat level ground.
So we'll explain that though. A pivot is a pivot sprinkler.
Yeah, the big
For people that don't know, it's got a center post, and if you've driven through Middle America, you've seen them. It's a long set of piping with tires, and it's got a center post or
If you've ever flown across the middle of the country and looked out the window, you'll see these great big circles. And those are pivot sprinklers. And from 30,000 feet or whatever your airline is flying, you look down at them, it's almost mesmerizing that there's this brown earth with all these brilliant green circles.
Yeah.
And it's because that's the only place that has water.
Yeah.
There are no ditches or canals or anywhere to get water out of. So it's a great spot. It's a cool spot.
Well, what I dig is when you're flying over.
No such thing as smog.
No, it's clear.
And the stars at night are unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
Unbelievable. that the sky is that clear and it's that quiet.
Well, whenever we get a chance,
it's not like looking.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've already contracted for that.
Oh, see, he's already on it.
So,
For the benefit of the folks listening to this, state manages that very carefully, and they give those of us that are landowners a certain amount of tags that give us the right to harvest the number of deer that they want, because they have to maintain a balance. The fish and game folks need to maintain a balance.
Yeah.
And so we were very, very fortunate that we got 2 tags this year as landowners, and otherwise we don't touch them. We don't hunt them. We don't harm them. But if the weight of the herds gets too great and they start causing a lot of damage, you have to understand hunting season is a week.
Yeah.
Those deer are eating off of those farms year round.
Right.
And you get 18 or 20 deer in a group that walk into a whole huge cornfield, they'll disappear in that cornfield.
Yeah.
The amount of damage they do is overwhelming. And when the winter wheat is planted, it looks like a lawn.
Yeah.
And the antelope move in, and there could be 30 or 40 head in a herd. And they can mow a lot of weed off at ground level. So the Fish and Game, or Colorado call them, it's Parks and Wildlife. That group tries to maintain a balance to keep the animals healthy, keep the herds healthy, and yet allow people to harvest them to try and keep the damage and that sort of thing. So we're all part of that circle. This isn't a freelance slaughter where we could have gone out and just shot animals on our property. We had legitimate tags and legitimate licenses that allowed us to do that.
So, well,